Continue our Campaign 2010 coverage this morning with a look at the race for Lieutenant Governor.
We are joined this morning by Tom Nelson, the Democratic candidate for Lieutenant Governor, and Tom Barrett's running mate. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Good to be on this morning, despite the weather.
Yeah, despite the weather. What is the role of Lieutenant Governor as you see it?
Well, if this position would have been called the Vice Governor, there wouldn't be that many questions about what we actually do. But because of its name, get a lot of questions. What does Lieutenant Governor do? It's simply the number 2 person in the Constitution for the constitutional office. So the Lieutenant Governor basically serves at the pleasure of the governor. And of course, in Wisconsin, we have a different system than most states. You run independently during the primary, but once the primary, whoever wins both the gubernatorial and the vice or the lieutenant governor campaigns become a ticket. So it's kind of some confusion though. But of course, Tom Barrett and I are on the ticket together.
You've been traveling the state for months campaigning. What are you hearing from folks out there?
Well, not surprising. The biggest issue has been and continues to be jobs and the economy. And whether you're in Superior, Madison, Kaukauna, my hometown, whatever it might be, it's a huge concern. I think it's been very telling that this is one of these issues that really goes to show that even though Wisconsin is very diverse, very unique in different parts of the state, that it's the economy, because it's diverse, really holds us all together. The example I like to use, I'm from paper country, the Paper Valley, and as I was spending time up in Superior, I met someone who actually supplies lumber for the paper mill in my town. And that's just one example about how we might have a diverse economy from one part of the state to the other, but in many respects, we're all interconnected.
How will you and Tom Barrett create jobs in the state?
Well, Tom Barrett's the only candidate that has a specific 67-page comprehensive plan on how we can bring jobs back to Wisconsin. He talks about specific the targeted tax cuts tied to job creation. We are going into a budget deficit of about $2.7 billion. We are not going to have a lot of money to work with. So we have to be very frugal and very targeted in where we're putting those dollars. Tom Barrett's come out for tax credits for everything from nanotechnology to biotechnology here in Madison to manufacturing. Green energy and so forth. So those are all the kinds of things that a governor should do, especially in our state. At the same time, too, the one thing the state does, and does very, very well, are long-term investments, whether it's in our physical infrastructure like roads and bridges, or whether it's in our human capital, specifically education. Madison is the #1 public university in the country in terms of research grants. We have a really good thing going here in Madison and around the state, and so we need to make sure that we continue to make those kind of investments in our people, our workforce, education, institutions, and so forth.
I think it's important for the electorate to hear from candidates either in this forum or debating, and rely less on these TV commercials that come on. But your opponent, Kleefisch, has refused to debate with you. How important are those?
I think it's very important. I think it's one thing that voters, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, whatever your brand might be, expect to have debates. This is one issue that everyone agrees we need to have. I challenged my opponent to 5 debates. Her campaign within minutes said absolutely no. And not only did they refuse to do those 5 debates I suggested, but categorically ruled out any kind of joint public appearances. I think it's a major disservice to the voters. And not surprising, as I've been traveling the state the last 3 or 4 weeks, people bring that up and think that she should, in fact, debate me.
The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel called Rebecca's health care ad "Pants on Fire" lie. What are the issues with this ad?
I completely agree. I completely agree because what she's doing, or actually there's an issue that's more important here, and that is what I call hypocrisy. And this, if there's one thing that you can disagree in healthcare positions, that's fine though. But in her situation, Scott Walker and Rebecca Kleefisch have consumed about $270,000 worth of taxpayer subsidized healthcare benefits. At the same time, my opponent and Scott Walker is calling for the dismantlement of Badger Care that would literally throw thousands of working families off an affordable health insurance plan. I think that's wrong. In that ad, she's accusing Tom Barrett of supporting a government takeover of health care, which is completely false, and that's why it's a pants on fire lie, as the Journal-Sentinel calls it.
Well, we'd like to talk with you more, but we've run out of time.
Already.
Tom, thank you for coming.
It's good to be on.
Good luck.
Thanks for the questions. Thank you.
We're back.